Right, well, let's take you through the grid. There is actually Krit Knorren stuck in the dummy grid at the moment, the 372, due to start 13th, but your starting order is as follows. Jaden Thien starts on pole position for this race, ahead of Lewis Gilbert, who'll be alongside on the front row. Thomas Strauver and Mario Sidler will be on row 2. Sverre Ubben and Montego Maassen, row 3. Lawrence Herboz and Dion van Verven complete the top 4 rows. Ahead of Borluets and William Helgstrand, Fredrik Zebis Christensen will be next up, starting 11th ahead of Ivari Tuimileto, with Krit Knorren not starting, it looks like. The cart is there in the dummy grid. They might get it to the mechanical repair area. Rashid Ghanem, William Christensen, Brandon Klein-Nagelvoort, Emily de Hoys, Andrei Petrovic, Martin Ernesto Varga, Frederick Demant, Christoph Sala, Martin Geiskens, Henry Beaumont, Niklas Ellis, Paul Christian Hamburg, Tonis Johannes Tumingas, Ivan Lapatsin, Ivar Anagnosiadis, Jimmy Kokalainen and Dante Sima due to round out the grid. So again, drivers will be weaving from side to side to get some welcome temperature in the tyres. So Krit Knorren's weekend not getting off to the best start in terms of races. That's the first of 3 heats that each of these respective drivers will be competing in. So we've got 4 groups, A, B, C and D. So the drivers will now have to get into formation. So Lewis Gilbert will pull alongside Jaden Thien. They need to do so very, very quickly indeed, because we don't want a stretched out start like we had in the first senior Rotax race. That's more like it. By 2 at the front, so everyone's got to get into close formation as we have 29 drivers set to go into the tram lines. And they slow to a crawl. Out of the final corner, into the tram lines, revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are out. We are given the green light to go racing. Good start by Jaden Thien and Thomas Strauver. Lewis Gilbert looking to, as always, surprise and excite those watching in attendance, not just on the live stream, but also here at the circuit. Everyone neatly getting through so far, 2 abreast at points. But Jaden Thien having the race lead, Thomas Strauver ahead of Lewis Gilbert, who rounds out the top 3. Bit of a skirmish around about the bottom part of the top 15, heading through into turn 6. That was a bit of a steely move there. Borluets on Sverre Ubben. Now, Borluet for the last 3 years has been running as a junior, now running in seniors. He's booked his place on the Red Devils for Junior Rotax, courtesy of being runner-up in the B&L Karting Series earlier on this month. But at the front end of the field, it's Jaden Thien. And there goes Thomas Strauver up the inside. Now takes the lead as we will complete our opening lap, and it's a 4-way battle at the front end. Jaden Thien looking for the move up the inside. Gilbert waiting to strike. Mario Sidler's got the ringside seats in 4th position. Borluet, Lawrence Herboz, Sverre Ubben, Montego Maassen, Denmark's William Helgstrand, and Dion van Verven rounding out the top 10 positions after the opening lap. Top 3 were covered by just under 2 tenths. Top 4 covered up by just over half a second. But expect that to change very, very shortly, because now that Mario Sidler and younger brother and 2-time Swiss RMC Junior Max champion Tino have switched to Strawberry Racing. And look how compact this top 4 are. But who is going to make the first move? Who's going to blink first? Down the start-finish straight they go, as Lawrence Herboz has overtaken Borluet as Lewis Gilbert gets through on Jaden Thien. That's for 2nd position. And now the Scotsman trying to go for the race lead. Now, Karting Genk is one of Lewis, well, I think one of Lewis Gilbert's favourite tracks alongside Pro Kart Racelander. There he goes, the pride of Scotland through on the Belgian. at turn 7. That's Lewis Gilbert into the race lead on lap number 3. Nice move there, diving down the inside off of the Europalan at turn 7 into the chicane. And Stuyven could only do his best to try and not let the Scotsman past. So further changes up and down the order. Fredrik Zevis Christensen, a fraction outside of the top 10. Look at the train behind these top 4 as they make their way through into turn 2 once again. So at the moment, William Christensen up to 13th. Ivan Lapatsin has dropped to 24th. So with Martin Ernesto Varga from Hungary not too far behind in 25th position. And now Lawrence Herboz has got a real head of steam. Great battle here with the likes of Dion van Verven, who's just behind Sverre Ubben in the 344. Montego Marson is a couple of karts behind, so William Haugstand also looks to be on the Sodi kart chassis. So he's picked up a ticket through the Danish RMC to qualify for the grand finals. Here goes Jaden Teen up the inside through turn 12 on Thomas Strauver. That's a retaking of second position by the young Dutchman. And Mario Sidler has now got Lawrence Herboz closing in on him. Oh, this is going to be an absolute dogfight right here with 6 minutes still to go on the timer, plus an additional lap. But Lewis Gilbert has a half-second advantage after 4 laps. Dion van Verven has the fastest lap of the race so far, 55.316 seconds. Herboz is now there with them. And Herboz nearly got caught out there going through into turn 10. Nearly ended up in the rear bumper of Mario Sidler through out of turn 11, now into turn 12. So after 5 laps, it's the pride of Scotland leading the way, Lewis Gilbert, but his lead is being slightly truncated to about 3.5 tenths of a second or so. And Lawrence Herboz trying to climb all over the back bumper of Mario Sidler at this juncture and has actually got through for 4th place. So Stuyven, Teen and Gilbert better watch their 6 right about now. We're halfway through the second senior Rotax heat, and the top 5 were covered by less than 8.5 tenths of a second after 5 laps of racing. All 30 drivers, rounded out by Australia's Iva Anagnostiidis, are still running the entire field covered by about 28 seconds from front to rear. But also, I'm keeping my eyes on the pace that Boluet and Dion van Verven have got at the moment. Now, bearing in mind, well, Boluet is a long way ahead of Dion van Verven, who has been passed by Denmark's William Haugstrand at the moment. And that's a change for 7th position. Louet is 2.4 seconds up the road. And what's more, he's just put in his fastest lap of the race. He was over 3.5 tenths quicker than the man in front of him, Mario Sidler. So could this train further elongate? But what Mario Sidler has got to do is try and find some pace from somewhere, whereas Lawrence Herboz has been a bit like a freight train at the minute. The 398 started 7th, now running genuinely in 4th place, and is at the back of this front end top 4 squabble. Here goes Stuyven up the inside of Gilbert. Is that going to open the door for Jaden Thien? Yes, it is. It might even open the door for Lawrence Herboz. 2 by 2, hurrah, down the start-finish straight they go. Who's going to be the first one into turn 2? It's Thomas Strauver. And Gilbert loses out big time. Drops from 3rd to 4th, and now has got Mario Sidler right on his coattails. Coming up to 3 minutes and 10 seconds, plus an additional lap in this second highly charged, action-packed, frantic second heat. Now Jaden Teen is gunning for that race lead again. He wants to get back past on Thomas Strauver in the 399. The top 5 after what was 7 laps were covered by 7 tenths. So coming up to 2.5 minutes to go. After lap number 8, it's Thomas Stuyver that leads the way, but Jaden Teen is hot on his heels. Dion van Verven still holds the fastest lap of the race, 55.316. Jaden Teen still trying to put the frighteners on the 399 for the race lead. And he looks for the move up the inside at turn 6. A little bit of a slight touch between the pair, but Jaden Teen on lap number 9 retakes the race lead coming out of turn number 6. Gilbert now back up into third place, having got past Lawrence Herbols for third. Thomas Johannes Dominguez up to 28th. Fredrik Zevis Christensen now rounds out the top 17 ahead of countryman Fredrik de Munt. Montego Massa now ahead of William Haugston for 8th position. For the top 5, it is a freight train, and that one is being led by the Flying Dutchman at the front of it, Jaden Teen, in the 303, running with Dan Holland Racing. Stuyver, Gilbert, Herbols and Sidler, Louet, Van Verven, Marsen, Haugston, and also Christoph Sala in the number 381, who started 21st, now rounds out the top 10. Great gain by the Austrian, 11 positions over the course of the last nearly 9 minutes of racing, as Stuyver was looking up the inside of Jaden Teen. Going into turn 7, Lewis Gilbert looking up the inside of the 399. Through into turn 8. Not quite working there yet from the man from Dolroy in Ayrshire. Coming down to the last 50 seconds of this race, plus one additional lap. It looks like Jaden Teen is starting to stretch the legs on the Lando Norris chassis underneath him. Onto our penultimate lap we go. The race lead now is nearly 3 tenths. As all Lawrence Herbols looks to go wheel to wheel with Lewis Gilbert. Through into turn 2, and Mario Sidler, like a rat up a drain pipe, manages to get through on the Belgian and takes back 4th position. Great work there by Mario Sidler. But Lawrence Herbols is not done yet. And there's the customary think tactic gesture by Mario Sidler. Do you want to fight me, or do you want to battle those in front of us? Timer counting down to 0, which it hits right now as they head their way into turn 10 for the penultimate time. Lap 11 out of 12. And now Stuyver's trying to get a wriggle on. He's trying to put the frighteners onto Teen, who is not budging. Gilbert now sees the last lap board. This could be the opportunity for him to strike whilst the iron is hot. Stuyver dodges all left and right over the back bumper of Jaden Teen going into turns 1 and 2. Any one of these 5 drivers at the sharp end of this grid could win it. Into turn 6 for the final time. Sidler goes defensive on Herbols. Teen is ultra defensive against Stuyver. Gilbert waiting to size up what might happen next. And he's just waiting for his opportunity. Could that be the rundown from turns 9 to 10? These drivers over the last couple of laps have been separated by less than 6 tenths. Into turn 10 for the final time we go. Jaden Teen still holding on by a finger thread. One more turn remains. Herbols sweeps wide to the outside, but Jaden Teen, he's going to hang on to it by a whisker. Who's going to take it? It's Jaden Teen by 51 thousandths. Thomas Stuyver tried to do a number on him on the checkered, but Jaden Teen was having none of it. Lewis Gilbert takes third, just over a tenth of a second, completing the top 3. Lawrence Herbols takes 4th ahead of Mario Sidler. Great work by Boluet to finish in 6th position, having started 9th. Dion van Verven started 8th, finished in 7th ahead of Montego Maassen, who started 6th on the grid. William Haugstrand from Denmark in the 320. He started 10th, finished 9th. Sverre Ubben started 5th and rounded out the top 10. Christoph Sala started 21st and finished 11th ahead of Ilvari Toy Mileto. Rashid Ghanem from the UAE, Brandon Klein-Nagelvoort and Martin Geiskens rounding out the top 15. Fredrik Zevis Christensen, Henry Beaumont, Fredrik de Munt, Paul Christian Hamburg and Serbia's Andrej Petrovic Round out the top 20, the returning Emily de Hoys finishes 21st, ahead of Krit Knoren, Jimmy Kokalainen, Martin Ernesto Varga, Nicholas Ellis, Dante Sima, Tonis Johannes Domingas, Ivan Lapatsin, Iva Anagnostiadis being the last of the classified finishers, and unfortunately on lap 9, we lost Denmark's William Christensen. So the roller coaster ride continued into Heat 2 for Senior Rotax here at the Home of Champions as the revs rised and built to a crescendo, and then it was cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war, with 30 drivers going into battle around this iconic circuit. Jaden Teen would do the right thing and initially start to break away, but then Thomas Strauver from Belgium had other ideas and decided early doors to take the race lead away from the Dutchman. Lewis Gilbert very much front and centre and would also get his chance to shine, even with a slight touch from Jaden Thien happening at the point where they were going into turns 1 and 2. Mario Sidler always having the ringside seats as there were furious battles up and down the order a little bit further back, with the likes of Tonis Johannes Domingas, Nicholas Ellis, amongst others. Then this was the opportunity where Lewis Gilbert managed to scythe it up the inside of Thomas Strauver, not giving the Belgian an opportunity to counter-attack and thereby taking the race lead. Of course, battles up and down the order would just showcase how quick the action can be here in Senior Rotax, and a great overhead drone shot over the Europalan just showing the rate of speed the drivers would use going into turn 7 at the chicane. Also, the fact of how powerful the slipstream is coming out of the 12th corner, and being able to use it down the start-finish straight is something that's impressive to watch and a joy to behold. But when it was all said and done, Jaden Teen would be trying to do his utmost. He would then go back on the counter-offensive and try and get through on Thomas Strauver. Lewis Gilbert would find himself being attacked by Belgium's Laurens Herboz in the 398, who would at some point get through into the top 3. Then Jaden Teen, again, using the opportunity of surprise and also millimetre perfect precision, he would win the race by 51 thousandths ahead of Thomas Strauver, Lewis Gilbert running out the top 3, with Laurens Herboz and Mario Sidler completing